Welcome to our mini series. We are back for more on Epic benefits, and we have the one only creator of all the benefits and things, Epic, Josh Miller, with us. And we are honored to be able to ask him, Josh, what is your favorite Epic benefit?
God, there's so many to choose from because we have like, over 70. But I guess probably we're Chris and I are big like, dog parents, so we have two dogs right now and they're like, like our babies at this point. So I would say probably the Air Vet benefit is pretty cool. We've definitely had a lot of cool stories from people where Air Vet has really like saved their pet's life or helped them in some significant way. And we use it all the time. I like that. I use free prescriptions. I mean, there's a lot of benefits that I actually use myself too. But I would say my favorite is probably AirVet. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
and
if people, I'm sorry, Holly, didn't mean to cut you off. If people are thinking of AirVet, what do they get with the service?
So yeah, it's like 24/7 access to a licensed veterinarian. So you can just kind of talk to a vet. I think if you have pets, you've probably been in the scenario that a lot of our agents find themselves in where, it's like the middle of the night, there's something wrong with your pet, they're acting weird, they're acting strange, something's going on. You're not sure if you should go to the 24-hour emergency vet, and maybe you don't live in a city that even offers one, or the nearest one's very far. So you say, hey, I'm going to wait, but should I wait? I don't know, or maybe you don't even have a regular vet for your pet, right? Either because you can't afford it or you just don't have one. So I think it really kind of performs that kind of service. But because we are like, dog parent, fur, what do they call them, fur parents or whatever? Because we're dog dads, we that is, kind of more of our priority is making sure that they're healthy and safe. As far as benefits, I would say my favorite for humans will be our upcoming childcare benefit, which we announced and will release here this year. And so for the people who have, human pets, they will have free childcare. So I think that's pretty cool.
Tiny humans. They are, well, I have a dog and I have boys, and they are very similar.
are both of these services free?
Yeah, they're both completely included. We want our benefits to be like have a real impact. We didn't just want to offer some kind of like discount services. I try to avoid that. We're like an all-inclusive resort. Everything's included. We're not the cheapest place, but everything's included. At the end, you'll save money depending on how much you drink. But yeah, so we're like an all-inclusive resort, I think.
Do the vets on an air vet, can they prescribe the benefit?
Yeah, they can send a prescription to a pharmacy for you to pick up. Yeah.
That is huge. I mean, it is. I have a kitten and I can't believe how much money I spent at the vet. Now I had to take her to the vet because she needs, her vaccine. So in
Yeah.
that case, she had to go. But my kitten does have a lot of upper respiratory problems because she was a stray and you know, she's got issues. And so that I may very well take advantage of that so I can get her antibiotics when she needs.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Wow.
it's great to be able to have kind of like just like an on-call doctor. I mean, who among us wouldn't like to have just like an on-call doctor, anytime you have like a little problem. You're
Oh,
like,
wait, I think we do at Epic.
you do. Absolutely, you do. So people don't realize that you have two kind of doctor services inside our free prescription. So you actually have a direct primary care physician that you can see within normal business hours and build that relationship with one person. You kind of select that one person, you kind of stay with that person, and you could just, just chat with them on the phone. I mean, like same day. I mean, who can say that they could just, talk to their doctor same day? I know traditional doctors, when I had just like regular insurance, it's like 3 months to see your doctor
I didn't know
sometimes.
we had that. I did not
So
know we had
yeah,
that.
you can just set up a
Wow.
regular doctor through that program. Then there's also the 24/7 virtual urgent care, which is like AirVet for humans, right?
Right.
So we can just talk to any doctor who's available, kind of instantly. And then our healthcare also includes mental health care, which is very important, especially in real estate. And real estate agents have a very high suicide rate. So it's very important to offer some kind of mental health care. And then our free prescriptions covering over 1,000 formulations. So there, everything I take is covered through there as like a free prescription, which is crazy because I'm, believe it or not, allergic to dogs. So so I have to take like Zyrtec or whatever every day. But yeah, so that's covered. Have like GERD and all these random things that I take just kind of regular prescriptions for. I
Mhm.
think a lot of us have something we're taking regularly. And it even covers vitamins. People don't realize that it even cover your
What?
vitamins. Yeah. So you could get free
Oh.
vitamins, free prescriptions. Do you know that our free prescriptions actually cover prescription retinol?
No.
Yes. Uh-huh. You see the smooth face? This didn't happen
OMG.
on accident. This is not
Okay. I,
genetics. This
I
is
am
Trent
under.
Noen all day.
It's not a filter?
Yeah, no, this is Trent Noen all day and good lighting. But yeah, it even covers free prescription strength retinol. Prescription
OMG.
strength retinol. I'm not
I'm
talking
not,
about stuff you can't buy at CVS. You know what I
I'm
mean?
underutilizing this benefit for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there are
Wow.
some pretty cool benefits that people don't even know exist. And we have so many benefits that even I forget. And people are like, what benefits do you guys have? And I'll rattle off like seven or eight. And I'm like, wait. And I got to go pull up joinepic.com to go look. And like, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. Free CE courses or, just whatever random thing that I had forgotten.
Um,
Well, because we have so many benefits, our mini series is just going to go on and on and on.
yeah.
And I don't even know that we're going to be able to keep up because I'm sure you're going to have more benefits coming out at PowerCon at the end of June and so on and so forth. So we, you've basically thank you for giving us an endless
Content.
series for
Yes.
YouTube.
The source for content.
I don't know how often you guys are posting this. In fact, I still do most of our marketing stuff, but I do have somebody who helps me with the social media side. And I told him that I had wanted him to post, a new benefit once a week, just so we can kind of get him out there, right? Well, then I realized I'm like, oh wow, by the time he gets through all of them, we probably are going to add, another 2 years worth or something. So I'm like, okay, so now he posts them every day, and he's like, "Will that be okay if I post them every day?" And this has just been a week; it's been going on, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we have like 72, so I feel like after a couple of months, you could probably recycle some of them. But by the next 2 months, we would have added more. We just added a bunch that he's not even on his rotation yet. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. You could probably post every day, and it'd still be fresh content because it's just that we have a lot of benefits.
Um,
Are there any challenges with getting the benefits set up?
Not for the agents necessarily, but for us setting them up and creating them, yeah, some are more challenging than others. There's never been a national real estate sign installation company. Never. We've created the first one inside of Epic. There's never been a true national photography company with trained photographers. You think there are because you can see them online, but they're really just kind of referral networks, where
mhm.
you put it out there and they send it out like, who wants this job kind of thing. So there's never been a true, until now, we've built one internally at Epic. So we're kind of changing other industries like sign industries and photography industries and car wash industries. So we're making big changes in non-real estate related industries as well. But yeah, it's not complicated for agents to sign up for them, but setting them up is complicated. So when somebody says they want to do what we're going to do, I'm like, have fun.
Good luck.
Have
Um,
fun. It wasn't fun setting it up.
And are you open to agents making suggestions for like, hey, we think this might be a great new benefit? Or are you kind of like, we are putting out so much on our own, just wait to see what we have? Do you have a preference or
No, I don't. People suggest stuff every day, and so they suggest to me or to our benefits department. A lot of times when people are suggesting something, it's something we're already looking into or have already tried,
mhm.
or somewhere in between. So I remember we were doing an event, and it was PowerCon last year in April, and we released benefits, and somebody yelled out from the crowd, "What about free childcare?" And I had to just laugh because we had been working on it for 2 years and it was coming out that October. We're going to announce it that October. So I'm sitting here going, like, ha ha ha. So, and I'm sure that I don't know who yelled it out, but I'm sure they think, oh, they listened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we take the benefits. It is very rare that somebody's pitching us a benefit that we haven't already tried, thought of, or are working on. Like if one more person tells me about free gym memberships from Planet Fitness, I get it. You think it's cheap, $10. It's not, they're not really set up to do those kind of
Mm,
programs. So you'd actually have to use someone else. And we've talked to maybe 50 people. So we're at a point right now where we'd love to do it. We figuring out how to make that work is a different story. So
mm.
but we're fine with people making recommendations. And we just basically say thank you, and it's either something we'll add or not, or we're already working on. So
I
yeah.
do want to go back to the healthcare just for a second. And I think we should probably do another mini episode just on healthcare at some point. But because I think when people hear healthcare, they think health insurance.
Uh-huh.
And we do not have free health insurance.
No, we don't. So we do have two things that regarding to healthcare. So what we didn't want is just to give everybody a discount plan. We can do that today, a discount plan for health insurance, but it wouldn't even be as good. All these companies that offer that, their rates are higher than the ones you get from NAR. So because NAR has this huge negotiating power with millions of users. So you can get a discount health insurance from NAR. It's going to be cheaper than any company. So what we wanted to offer were for people who weren't looking to do that, but wanted health care. They wanted to talk to a doctor. They wanted to get their prescriptions. They aren't necessarily looking for, coverage for surgery, or something more serious. So we have the free health care. We do have health share, and you do get a discount from that. So health share through Impact Health. What that does is it allows you to get something that's, they say it's not insurance, but it's because there's a legal definition for insurance. But it's virtually indistinguishable. In the health, but the difference is the health share plan is a nonprofit organization, right? So what that means is that it's cheaper. So I have it, and I'm paying about $150 a month. What I used to pay $400 a month for,
Wow.
and it actually covers more. And you get a little card just like you would with insurance. You have deductibles, but a lot of stuff is just completely covered. And I thought it would be weird. I actually did have to go to the hospital one day, and they're like, "Do you have insurance?" I was like, "Well, I have this." And the lady's like, "Okay, just put it in." She's like she'd seen it a million times, so
Hmm.
it wasn't a thing. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever. I guess they're used to this." But the difference between the health share plan we offer an insurance company is it's a nonprofit. Every dollar you do spend with them goes to help another person. So, because it's a nonprofit organization, so we that really aligned with our values, and it covers more than a lot of traditional insurances. Even if you're on like a gold plan or whatever through the exchanges, it's going to cover more than that almost every time. So,
Wow. Um, I I'll share what I do because I think I've got a pretty good setup. I'm gonna definitely look into that. Is that something that we can look on the Epic dashboard to actually see the?
yeah, if you go to benefits and click on healthcare, yep. And so you
Okay.
can go there and you can look at that, and there's different options. Even on joinepic.com, you scroll down to healthcare, there's the brochure. It actually breaks down the difference between the free included healthcare plan, which includes the free prescriptions, the free doctors, virtual 24/7 urgent care, the mental health, all of that is covered there. And then it breaks down health share, which that does cover things like surgeries, ambulance rides, blood diagnostic tests, all of those things, like almost like your insurance plan would.
I'm gonna look into that. I'll tell people what I use, and then I'm gonna compare these and see if they work together. I use a MediShare company called Sedera, 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 and I think I pay around $220 a month for that. It is not health insurance. It is a true MediShare plan. So basically, it's a pool, and um, I have a $500. Basically, the way that works is I cover my first $500 for any issue. Um, so let's say I have a an ongoing situation right now that I have to have repeat small procedures done, and they're very costly. But it could go on for years and years and years, and I only pay that first 500 for that same issue. So that's something I think a lot of realtors could look at and maybe compare with the Impact Health, and they may actually work together because.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sedera is great for a lot of us. My husband has a small business. The insurance options are abysmal. abysmal. I mean, I've gone so deep down this rabbit hole, and I've kind of come to the thought that it's just a total ripoff at this point. I really just don't think it's worth it. So I love the MediShare plans, and then I get my free prescriptions through Epique's partnership, and then the primary. That's amazing. I didn't even know that I could pick a primary. One more thing, I just signed up. Love it. Everybody that's listening, check this out. $500 a year. Functionhealth.org. Functionhealth.org. Dr. Mark Hyman's company. Great service if you want to kind of take control of your labs and get a whole picture, and then you can take those labs. It's $500 a year. You get so much. Just look into it. It's amazing. And then you can take those labs to your primary, which I'm going to do. I'm going to look into what Epique offers with the primary, and I'm going to take those labs and have them look at it as well. So there's a lot of options out there that are outside of the box for realtors, and yeah, this is so cool. I'm so glad you told us about that Impact Health as well.
Yeah. And in that one, because it's not a for-profit situation, not only is it cheaper, but they don't have these kind of in-network restrictions. And so your doctor doesn't even have to take it because they'll just pay whatever your doctor is billing. So that's kind of cool.
That is so cool.
The
Okay.
reason you have to do the in-network thing is because they've negotiated special rates and all of these things, right? So, but they don't go negotiate rates; they just pay whatever it is. So yeah, it's great. You don't have to. You can just choose any doctor.
I didn't
Wow.
even know about the impact health. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, this was awesome. Yeah, this is really good stuff. And I don't think this is really unique to Epique.
So your miniseries, this one, is this about car washes?
The first, the first episode was.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Of
Gotcha.
course, we had to start the Epic benefit with the most taught
Well, I
benefit
didn't know
that
if you wanted me to talk about car washes or how that came about.
No,
So,
we covered that. We're good.
right.
well, I don't
The
know.
car
Do
wash.
we know everything there is to know about car washes?
Well, I can tell you why we have it. It's a little story, and you guys can
Okay.
use it as a little clip or something if you want.
Yeah.
Yes, love it.
So, uh, whenever, whenever we decided to start Epic, we want to have value, right? So, we wanted to work for the agent instead of having the agent work for us. So we started off doing things like transaction coordinating, or like, people hate doing paperwork. I hated doing paperwork, so we'll just get people to do paperwork. So Janice, one of the co-founders, she was our first transaction coordinator. She did all the paperwork. And then Chris's idea was that he hated installing signs, right? The whole like manual labor of it all, right? Like dragging it out there and hammering it into the ground in the Texas heat and all. He's like, people hate that. I hate that. It's like, cool, then we'll do that. So then Chris and I, who hates doing it, became the sign guys for like our first like 30 listings or something. We installed every single sign. So Chris and I had signs in the car and we throw them in the back of the car and we'd go and we'd hammer them into the ground, hang their sign for them. And then we decided while we're out there, we're hanging signs. We're like, what we could do? We could also bring a lockbox so that we don't do this benefit anymore. Thank God, it was terrible, not scalable. But we can bring a lockbox put on the door for them to use, right? And so we started doing that. It's like, well, we're already coming out here. Maybe we could like do the photography. And so we, hired a company to do photography. Then they started doing signs, and it all worked out. But all of our benefits in the very beginning were just listing related, right? So they were just had to do with listings. And so one day I'm still in production. I had to go meet clients, and I went up to my car, and I have this big tree that grows over my driveway, and the birds had just decimated my car. It was just almost unrecognizable. And so I thought, oh my God, I can't go meet my clients like this. These are luxury clients. Like they're gonna think I'm crazy. So I texted them, I'm like, hey, I'm running like 15 minutes late. And they said, perfect, we're running 30 minutes late. I said, great. So I drove to a little car wash by my house. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like watching the bubbles and the suds and stuff. And I'm thinking, "Ugh, I bet every agent has one of these like unlimited car wash things because, we have to meet clients and we have to be presentable, right?
Yes.
And I thought, you know what, that'd be kind of cool. What if all our agents had free car washes? That would be interesting, So I went back to Janice and Chris and I told them about this kind of cool benefit. And we're like, well, if we can negotiate the rate, blah, blah, blah. So that ended up being our very first benefit that was not related to train, just one everybody can have. Had nothing to
Wow.
do with the listing, had nothing to do with the transaction. It's just kind of an everybody thing. And that is at the point where we went to it's a little bit on the sustainability. That is where we went to our accountants and we said, look, we think we want to add some benefits here. And we don't know which benefits, but we need a budget. How much can we spend per agent per month, you know? And they said, they gave us a number and we're like, okay, cool. We'll try to keep within that. They're like, what benefits are you thinking? I said, well, car washes is like a first thought. And they're like, car washes. And I'm like, yeah, that's like our first thought. You know, we're gonna add other like, like real benefits. They're like, sure. So we stayed kind of within that budget, but the car washes just came from like an experience I had just kind of sitting at the car wash, going to meet clients and thinking about, agents in the future. But I want to tell you something. Car washes by itself is not such a revolutionary benefit, but what it did is it opened our mind to the idea of benefits that had nothing to do with a listing or transaction. At this point, we were just thinking of, oh, we can run ads for their listing. We can do all these other things. We were just in the mindset of helping with transactions, not just general kind of overarching benefits. And that was the catalyst that led us to the 70 plus benefits we have now. Is that we can add anything, let's give them as much as we can that will help them in their day-to-day lives. So
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I think the car wash has just
Great.
become my favorite benefit. It's like, yeah, it's $40 a month. I mean, obviously, I already paid for it before I was with Epic, so it was just kind of one of those chuckle benefits. But now it's almost made it my favorite benefit because people have made fun of it. And it's like, how can you make fun of having a free car wash? It's freaking awesome. Like, what does your broker do for you? You know what I mean? And
I
like, every time I go through the car wash, and my kids love going through the car wash, and it's just a constant reminder of lead with contribution and everything you guys do for your agent and the overall mission. And it just tickles me that people make fun of it, and it makes me love it that much more.
We did have someone making fun of it on Facebook one day, and and she was kind of going off on a kind of a terrible rant about it. And so finally, I did reply, and I said, kind of a smart aleck sometimes, but I said, seems like you're having a bad day. Maybe you should take the rest of the day off, go get your car washed,
I
get
think I saw
coffee.
that.
Yeah, it made me chuckle a little bit.
That's
Or
funny.
maybe she's just pissed because her broker doesn't have free car washes and she just doesn't know
She's
how
she's
else to
mad.
handle it.
She's mad because her car is dirty.
Yeah.
And
See, I would have probably been a little even more sassy in me to be like, we also have free mental health care too.
yeah, no. I'm not like that, but I
I
would
know
say,
you wouldn't, but
yeah, no, but it's
I shouldn't start my own
just
brokerage.
having a little, just funny remarks. I think is how I deal with things, and so it's just my way. But I feel like because we all have such beautiful headshots now, and we all have such beautifully clean cars, we are like the best looking brokerage in the industry for
And we all
sure.
have huge boobs.
Absolutely, yep, for sure.
Even the guys are
Mhm.
like ripped in
Yeah,
their pictures. So, I mean,
nice.
yeah. And we all have great personalities because, we have the no asshole policy. So,
Yes, that's probably my favorite policy.
That's right. All right, great. Well, thanks again for coming, and you have an awesome rest of your day, Josh. We so
Thanks.
appreciate you.
yeah, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you. You're
Thanks, guys.
welcome anytime.
Come
Awesome.
back.
Thanks, guys. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.